This is my R&R, get ready to take a shower after dinner, watch Pirates of the Caribbean, pass out time. Happy Friday. My burnout.
What time did you get up this morning, Danny?
3:30.
3:30 in the morning.
Yep.
And that's your day in the life of...
The pirate's life for me. I gotta get this ship ready to make way at sea, and me, I'm real particular about going on the ocean unless everything is fixed above par, better than average, and in better than new condition, and very safe and sound and ready to go, or I won't leave. So, that's what I do every day. Work on the boat until she's ready to go. And I'm about probably 2 weeks from dry docking to get the rudders repacked, change the thrust bearings on the shafts, and put zincs on it and rubberize the bottoms so when we do get her to the Caribbean, the worms can't eat it alive. Other than that, she's coming along pretty good except for peeing me off today because some paint wrinkled on me, so destroyed my happy afternoon. Tomorrow, after a good night's sleep, I'll be in a better mood to resand it and repaint it. Other than that, should have all the paintwork done the next few days, and then it's engine room time. And I'll spend a week down there making it until the kings and queens can dine on the floor. It'll be perfect. And then once I get on the waterway, after everything is completed, headed down to Wilmington to relax for a while until we start working on the big pirate ship in Honduras. And then that's a whole new adventure in itself. And hopefully we'll get that done so we can start entertaining vets and helping people from around the world. Our game plan. But for now, I'm going to have a smoke. Oh! That boat right there at Red Blue sold at that auction for $20.
That one?
Yeah.
That looks like a lot of work. I don't know if I want to get that.
That's a
Another step towards getting us to where we want to be, floating in the Caribbean and on TV.
yeah. In Mexico.
Oh, I got some bitchin' ones, man.
I got steel-toed, and they're made out of fucking stingray. Strong as fuck. It was vibrant.
Oh,
soul.
those, yeah.
I got some elephant fucking boots. You know, elephant skin?
Yeah.
Like $1,000 fucking pony.
Yeah, that's what I paid for mine. $1,000.
It's hard to believe. Yep. Right in on your shoulder.
Mike's another veteran. We'll meet you down there.
Be right there.
I didn't even know you had that rowdy dog.
Oh, catch that gate. Oh, we're gonna miss you.
You know, tonight.
Gotta wait for Rod to open the gate. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Rum, rum,
I
rum.
want a black one. Huge.
Catch.
Yeah, I look good in black
Go
too.
black, never go back.
I wouldn't say that.
Depends on who you
You have a small?
Was it on the bottom?
Probably.
Hey, you guys probably would have food in most anyway.
Well, I mean,
Good quality.
I'm not sure. Tank top shape. All right, good.
Ready?
Give me 2 months and then I'll wear a tank top. Right now.
Oh, yeah.
So anyways, we're going to have you guys sign some releases that let you guys be on this video. We just got picked up by the #1 network in the world. So we're going to be the #1 TV series on TV next year. And what we're doing is a promo for a sizzle reel for marketing. So what we want to do is kind of create a real bar scene in here, and then you guys are gonna like take interest and see why we're here and why we're wearing what we're wearing, and kind of like intermingle on it. Are any of you guys veterans at all? You're a vet? Okay, Kuwait, Iraq, Vietnam?
Current.
Okay. You're current military right
No,
now?
I just got out.
Oh, okay. Well, all these guys are real vets.
Thanks for your service.
Bobby Wood right there is one of the #1 stunt guys in Hollywood. He's also one of the #1 line producers that came out of Hollywood. And then James is one of my partners here. And then that's Tiny, he's also a Vietnam vet. This is Crazy John, Cleaver Rob.
Thank you for serving for us.
This is Build Boy Jeff. And Tomac flew out of Canada. He's a big producer, so.
The ace in the hole.
Yeah.
Call him Ace, don't call him Ace.
No longer Tomac.
So basically, Tomac and Bobby will be telling everybody what to kind of do to coordinate and make it happen, and then we'll make it happen.
Got it.
Yeah, and then you guys will bring it worldwide. So if you don't mind that, that's all good.
This could be the start of a new career.
And this is a rehab show, so you guys can drink, do whatever you want, and then I want to see that booze and stuff start getting cut off when you guys get in conversations with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then because we all party and stuff too, but we've been there and done that, and the show is about taking people with PTSD, disfigurements, alcohol, pills that are prescribed by the Veterans Administration in hospitals, and street drugs, and trying to get them off of that by rehabilitating them at sea on a real pirate ship, being a pirate and learning a lot of shit.
Cool.
You know, because as we know, most of the rehabs that they put out in the clinics and everything don't work. They have an 86% turnaround on failure.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make it happen.
And 23 people a day committing suicide.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, if I bought all they tell you, I might have been one of them.
Well, we're glad to help. Well, thank you. I
Good,
appreciate
great.
it. Thanks for coming out.
It's a mission we have. It's a
Sure.
mission.
So what we want to do is just create a live scene in the bar like it's really going on, music playing, watching sports, whatever. And then we're going to need some, Sean will probably bartend. And then you guys we'll be out on the patio and you guys can say, well, why are those guys all wearing that fucking gimmick out there with the Adventure Alley? And she'll kind of enlighten you guys on, hey, those guys are doing a rehab show, you know, blah, blah, blah. And that's when we'll take the interest and everybody can start coming out there, just like 2 at a time, 1 at a time, whatever Tomac decides how to play it. So it looks like it's real, you know what I mean? And don't be stiff.
This is a reality.
That's why we're doing
It's reality. So you have to be real. Be yourself. Shake it off.
Shake it up.
Be you.
How's it go, Captain?
Well, we don't have to worry about that with Shauna.
Be safe, be happy, be
Yep. Are you good to go?
I am.
Okay, and you know what you get your lot. You're pretty much just going to instruct people on what we're doing, right? For the rehab show, you're going to be bartending, and Mike's coming down, and we're waiting for Dizzy,
Okay.
and he's bringing a veteran also.
I got Yeah, I got hi last night. Sweet, David said. Today? He knows my name, obviously.
The end is near.
I like your hat. And I noticed you finally did get some gold.
Yes, it's gold from the.
Good bloody
You know what a crowd is, right? We've only got so much film footage here, right?
Yeah, I know, he'll move around. He just wanted him sitting next to me. And
Yeah, because you're the key for the door.
I won't take up much room. I swear.
There you go.
Until I'm comfy, then I take the whole fucking.
Now it looks like a busy bar. You know?
looks like a busy bar.
66, almost I got out of there, I want to say, in September.
Yeah, lipstick on it.
I got a letter. Then 6 months later, myself, we all got drafted. Johnny was there, her cousin, 2 months, found her. Get it while pulling guard right in the chest.
But you know what? And you can usually tell if you look at the names on the wall.
Oh yeah.
You can tell by their rank.
Yeah, John Leo. It was just
Yeah. A lot of my high school friends, you could tell, you know, private, bam, he's gone.
Boom, yeah.
Because the stupider you were when you got there, that's when you got it.
well,
You know?
They use
About
it
a-
for cannon fodder, man. I mean, shit.
That's 'cause you're walking.
Being the lower on the totem pole.
You're the fresh meat.
They'd sit you out there and walk that shit right over the top of you.
No, and
The thing about the jungle is that you couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
They were tunneled in, they were in trees, they were in underground, they were everywhere.
Depending on the time of the day.
canopy, shit, it'd start raining. It took 45 minutes to get down to you.
nighttime when there's more than 2-3 weeks ready to go. After a while, hell with it. You know, it was a half an hour deal, but when we had to go, and I was driving the truck.
You know, if you look at the movies that they made in about Nam, a lot of those have factual.
Doing good?
Yep.
Right?
Well, you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
How you guys doing?
I like your tattoo.
Thank you.
It's funny you say you couldn't see anything because you were in the jungle, because sometimes in the desert, depending on the weather, being down in Taji, you couldn't see anything either, man. It was like the whole sky was just orange.
People think one is worse than another. It's all the same bullshit in your head.
Yep. You're always thirsty and the sky was always orange because you drink 4 or 5 bottles in an hour and it's 152 degrees out.
And the jungle's 200 degrees too, and I'm still sweating today. But no, man, I had 3 days left ETS. 3 days. I was drafted in December 6, 66.
Wow. Wow.
And prior to this, my wife's cousin had died, Johnny. Her brother, deceased, got it, and I just changed seat within 2 minutes. And my partner got it right between the eyes. Perfect shot. They got us good. These guys were good. And I got it in my collarbone, bust all this up over here. These sandbags on the bottom, and on the windows and all that, and we put metal on the side. And these guys will just bang at it. So I did about 3 bursts. And I cut one, I swear to God, right through there. Right there. In the meantime, I wonder how come Claiborne was a staff sergeant. How come he ain't backing me up? And I'm screamed and I stuck out my hands like this, these fingers, and I hit the door and the truck was like this. And this was my truck. He just got on and we traded the first time, the whole time I was there. He asked me if you want him to drive for a while. Because it was, driving all day. So I said, you drove before? Yeah, in Germany, blah, blah, blah. Okay. We changed in the back with ammunition, and I could hear the hiss. And I saw that fire. Claiborne was like this. I was all screwed up, couldn't use either hand. And I looked at that fire and I said, this thing's gonna blow up. And I was too vain, you know. So I bent down like this and I was gonna push Claiborne out. And I got 2 in the ass and it flipped me and it threw me from here.
It's like the real deal.
You were chasing it with it.
It's the real deal.
At least I'm out of here. I'm not gonna get toasted.
See, I drunk the other night on the straw full of booze. Margarita, the lady ordered it. And then, everybody goes like this, right?
$7 a drink.
So Julie goes, well, how bad is it?
Something to make me something. You want another drink? You good?
Like going underneath the bridge used to be.
Yeah, you've been tired of Coke all day.
Hey, Dutch.
You've been on such a freaking
We need
Convoy
Coke over
training.
here.
I was just an 88 Mike, but when my
Okay, so
captain
we're ready.
decided he wanted to have a reason to go outside the wire because
I like
we
your
didn't really
shirt.
have a mission.
Thank you.
Yeah, where'd you get that?
Yeah, over here. You want to? Let's go.
Okay.
Badass shirt. I love it. I gotta show you some pirates right now.
All right.
Opportunity like this, but no, not this week.
You're an opportune anyway. That's what I like.
Dan, I want you to meet my friend, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby, how's it going? I'm Captain Ironballs. They call me Pirate Dan.
Cool.
This is John.
How you doing? John, nice to meet you.
Izzy.
My pleasure.
Jane.
How do you do? James?
Rob.
Bobby.
My first mate.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, pull up a chair and sit down, man.
All right.
So you're a veteran, eh?
Yes, and I noticed her shirt in there. I told her I had a pirate shirt on, and so she wanted me to meet you guys because you guys are doing a veterans rehab thing, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, well, what we I'll give you a short explanation of it. What we do is we have a pirate ship, and we take veterans out to get them recognized internationally. And we have a basic offshore rehabilitation where we train you how to use the ship. We have competitions on the ship where you're rewarded on it. And we want to get homeless vets and vets in need with PTSD, drug, alcohol, prescription drugs, disfigurements, live on TV so people know what these homeless vets are or non-homeless vets, and get them out in the general public so hopefully we can start helping veterans. And when they leave the show, kind of like Survivor, we're hoping that by following them that people will start recognizing them more in their lives and start helping veterans and participate with veterans. Because I mean, they served our country, and without them, we wouldn't be here free today.
Yeah.
We need a lot of.
And
And
so-
thank you, sir, for your service.
So on this
exactly.
ship, you're teaching them different things, and you have doctors, or do you have anything?
Oh yeah, we have PTSD doctors, we have alcohol and drug counselors on board, and one of them actually is Brandon Jack Cruz, who used to be Eddie on Eddie and his father, and also lead singers for the Dead Kennedys. We're working with a few in high stars, which I can't mention names. We've got some big music people coming from the industry, and also they want to participate in this. We've got a gang of people that are really into this because it's about pirates, which is one of the most popular things on TV right now, and also veterans, which have just started becoming into the public eye since Afghanistan, where Vietnam vets like yourself were shunned for being in the war, and now we're trying to pick that up and make it better for everybody.
So you're actually taking them out of the element,
Exactly.
and you're taking them away from anything that they might be able to get a
Correct.
hold of.
They won't
and
be able
now
to.
that they're out at sea,
Right.
is when they can get straightened out
Exactly.
and set on a different
Yeah,
path.
because you have to look at it. What we're going to do is each one of our crew members, as you can see, our rough group here, we're all ex-bikers, been through pretty hard lives, watch our family and friends die, our kids die, our parents die, motorcycle accidents, club members. We've had our own wars on the street. And what we have done is overcame all that and became pirates of the modern day. And we feel that what we've done for ourselves, running that type of lifestyle and being able to overcome it, we can help other people in the same manner. And we don't treat people like little wussies. We get them out there and we really make it happen, where right now the rate of deaths of veterans is 23 suicides a day or more. And the clinics don't really help because all they want to do is push drugs on you, pills, prescriptions, which benefits the government and the person selling the pills, of course.
Pharmaceutical.
The pharmaceutical companies, which are owned government owned. And also, in an alcohol or rehabilitation center, has an 86% loss rate that they're not helping anybody. That's a bad percentage. So what's going on is, we get you to see where a drug counseling or sitting around with guys with your problem or women with your problem in a room doesn't really help.
An hour later, you're back out
Exactly.
on the street.
Or when they put you into a rehab clinic, your friends are bringing you drugs, the alcohol, you know. So by putting you at sea, putting a pirate outfit on you is automatically going to start changing your attitude in the first place.
Yeah, that's cool.
And you're going to have a crewmate that's assigned to you on the boat, which will walk you through everything, teach you everything, and that's going to be your shipmate on the boat. And a personal counselor that's been there, done that. It could be John, it could be Dizzy, it could be James, Rob, or I. And we're going to teach you all the aspects of it. We also have a sound and editing room going on the boat, so you'll be able to learn sound editing, navigation, reading the stars, fishing, hookah, scuba, kayaking. We're going to make it a true adventure on uninhabited islands and in inhabited places. And the thing is, we don't have alcohol, we don't have drugs. If you want to shave, you're going to have to get a razor from him, and it goes back to the lockers when it's done. We don't want any problems on the boat. We've got 3 of the top guys in the world in karate that are Mariano Mendoza, 6th in the world, Craig Martin, 1st in the world, and Mike Martin, one of the 1st in the world, and also a master swordsman. We have the top leading cannon, replicator, and pirate historian on board. We've got 5 real pirates from the Caribbean that have been running it their whole lives.
Can I go and get some of my friends in here and bring them out to hear this stuff?
Oh, not a problem.
I've got some veterans sitting at
Oh,
the bar.
great, man. That's what we're here for.
Okay, and I'll be right back.
Not a problem. Thank you. Well, hey, I think we better stretch another table in here and zone ourselves.
There's such a camaraderie, whether you get along or not.
Yeah, you gotta
I
say.
needed to meet some guys. They're modern day pirates, and they're doing a cool thing with veterans. You gotta come out and see this.
I hope they ain't
Where they
kissing
at?
us.
Let's go check them out.
Check it out.
Where they at, man?
You're sitting over there listening, but you're not hearing.
That's very good, by the way.
That's what I'm
You mean
talking
like that
about.
rum runner's cave?
So Dan, these
Hey,
are
Bobby.
some veteran friends of mine.
Wow, you guys like on Veterans Day? I know it's Veterans Day. So
Yeah, you guys some friends, all right.
Hey man, how you doing?
Hey, I'm Rob.
Pleased to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
How's it going, man?
How you
All right,
doing,
nice to
James?
meet you. Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Have a seat.
My pleasure.
You guys want to join us and hear what's going on? We'll
Pull up a table here.
let's pull in a few more tables and make this comfortable for everybody. Then. Let's
Yeah, let's get a table for the.
yeah, let's get another table in here.
Appreciate what you guys are doing.
Yeah, what is?
All right, James. How far are you going back there, bud?
Not right there, Cap.
There you go. You go, Captain Iron.
Well, hey, you guys steal a chair and hook up, sit on in, and we'll give you an idea of what we're doing.
Have a
and
seat.
Tell us who you guys are. Got it? Have a seat, man.
Everybody got a seat?
He shares the
Behind you, Johnny.
Make way, James.
Oh, thanks. I like your foot. Class.
Hey, have a seat. You're a veteran? Well, you're with this group then, right? You're with this group of veterans?
Pull up a seat.
Now these guys here are friends of mine. We were sitting at the bar, and the bartender turned me on to you guys because of this shirt,
Right,
and because you guys are modern day pirates.
right.
So now I'm bringing them out so you guys can hear what these guys have to say, and they got a great thing.
Well, hey, we are filming, okay? So we're gonna have to really pay attention to what we're doing and not bullshit because this is important for all of us right here. Okay? Horace, you are a veteran. We don't know you. You just came into this. I know you don't know what's going on, but we're filming our sizzle right now. So you don't know none of us, and you guys just walked in, and we're explaining to you what we do.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All right. So you ready to start? Or are you rolling already?
It's all going.
All right, so anyways, guys, nice to meet all of you. It's a pleasure, and this is where we're at. As I was explaining to Bobby, we do a veterans offshore rehabilitation show, and what we do is we take veterans from around the world, not just U.S. veterans, because we've been helped by many veterans around the world, right? And we're doing an international TV show where we take veterans on a pirate ship, dress you like a pirate, and we give you an adventure at sea. And what we do is we train you. We've got drug counselors and doctors and on board, PTS counselors on board, and each one of you is going to be signed a crew member if you're on the show. And that crew member of my hardcore bunch has already been there and done that and had all the rough times in their lives. And we've been through hell and lost our children and lost parents and lost friends and, as biker street gangers, kind of been through a few fights and bad rounds in our lives and drugs and alcohol. And what we work with is PTSD, alcoholism, people with disfigurement, and we also work with people that are on prescription drugs prescribed by the VA. And what we want to do, because the normal habitat right now of success for any drug counseling, rehabilitation, whatever you want to call it, is about 5 to 8% right now globally. So we think by taking you guys offshore where it doesn't give you access to drugs, alcohol, the bad surroundings in your past, in your life, and try to pick you up and bring you back into a reality and teach you things on the ship and have competitions on the ship, that we really feel that we can help people that have the problems we've had in our past that we've overcame to become modern day pirates. You guys feel that at all? Or
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so what we're going to do is, while we're doing this, it's actually a competition out there on the sea. You're going to be on Twitter, Google. People are going to be watching this on an international level on over 500 channels on TV. And you're going to be mixed with Russians, Kuwaitis, Japanese. I mean, there's going to be a mix. It's not just going to be 6 U.S. vets. It's going to be women. It's going to be men. And you're going to have different people on there with different aspects of problems. You know what I mean? That we've all, like I said, have pretty much been through in our lives and overcame. So what we want to do is, by having you offshore, you're not only going to learn on international TV, but it's also going to show people what homeless vets are going through, what you're all about, and you can overcome the things that the wars caused and the drama of military.
And the bad thing about the military is if you're not a high-ranking officer, you're a follower and never a leader. And we want to help you guys become your own leaders and lead yourselves in your life. You know? And if anybody has any questions, shoot.
Is there a fee for this?
No fee. It's, matter of fact, at the end of the season, we're going to send you guys, the #1 guys out of the season, get to actually go, or women, on a treasure hunt at the end, and that's going to be a sponsored treasure. It could be $5 million, it could be $1 million, it could be whatever. And each one of those veterans that finds that treasure on their own, with no help from the crew or captain or any support from anybody, that's your accomplishment at the end of the show. You each get 10% of that treasure.
Oh, they share.
And then the rest of it, you can donate to your favorite veteran society of your choice when you guys get together and decide who you want to donate it to. It could be the World Warrior, Red Cross, Veterans Association, Veterans VA Hospital, whatever. And that way it's helping further other vets. Before the show starts, you guys will do a 2-week evaluation at a clinic in Los Angeles to make sure we don't have somebody ready to cap themselves when they come on the boat and commit suicide. After the show, you'll go through a 2-week, and you're also going to do a physical before the show so you can show the state you're in now and the state you're in after you leave the ship. You're going to go through a physical and another 2 weeks of that same program after you've been on the ship for the season. And then you're also going to be followed by the people that love you on the show will follow you, offer you jobs, which we need job placement right now for all the veterans because they're not able to get work because they proclaimed them with PTSD, drugs, and alcohol, and it's just become overwhelming where people are afraid to hire veterans anymore.
Yeah.
And we want to stop that and stop the starving veterans on the street that were the ones that kept us free today, you know?
Yeah. Where at offshore are you doing this at?
We're going to be actually filming this filming a first 13 episodes while we're filming a documentary. You'll all be part of the first people on ship. Called the Rise and Reign of Captain Morgan. We're going to be leaving Honduras. We're taking presidents to the Panama to make history during the documentary from around the Caribbean and possibly Putin right now. And then we're also going to be going from there and hitting all the uninhabited and inhabited islands on our way, making our way back to Key West, which is going to be home port. And then from then on out, the show will be filmed on uninhabited and inhabited islands out of Key West.
Caribbean.
That's great.
The Caribbean's going to be our home.
Basically, we're driving the boat up.
Excuse me?
You're going to drive the boat up.
Yeah, we're sailing the boat down to the Caribbean.
Learn how to be a sailor.
You'll learn how to navigate by the stars. You'll learn engine work, paint, chipping, scraping, diving, hookooing, navigation, helming. Everything that becomes a part of your life on that ship is going to be what you guys are going to be trained in. You'll learn how to spearfish, how to dive for food. I mean, search for food on uninhabited islands, find water. I mean, just like a pirate's life. You're going to be dressed as a pirate. You're going to feel a pirate. You're going to learn how to fire cannons. You're going to learn pirate history. We've got some musicians that want to come on board that are high-end in the industry, can't name no name. They want to do a music video on the boat and actually songs about our trip on the boat. We've got a Russian writer coming in, the biggest in Russia, that wants to write a movie about our first trip. We've got some pretty neat things going on with this show, and we're hoping that all aspects of this will pertain to helping veterans.
So actually, then, they're going to be learning something
Exactly.
that they could go out and get a job
Right.
somewhere.
Well, I kind of look at the show Survivor with a 16-year professional run right now. For the first 10 years, #1 TV show on TV until Duck Dynasty came in and Honey Boo Boo. But the thing is with what we're doing, we're hoping that the public eye internationally will see people that came in from Germany or wherever we bring them in from. We'll say, hey, that guy stands in front of 7-Eleven. I give him 50 cents all the time instead of just giving them 50 cents. Ask them why they're there. Hit us on Facebook or Twitter and tell us why they're there. Help us get them on our show. You know what I mean? Let's get them off the street, out of the gutters and out of the alleys, you know? Get them back to meet their families and their friends they've been hiding from since they got back, and that happens a lot.
So they can actually be trained to go and get a job with Merchant Marine
Oh, yeah.
or shipping companies or
Right.
things like that.
Well,
One of the outreaches on that afterwards is the show is also going to have a greenhouse, but we're going to have solar panels on the ship. We're going to integrate them. We're going to have some wind generators.
And we're looking at doing biofuel too. So.
And
they'll also be taught about those systems and about renewable energy, and they'll also have outreach opportunity outside after the show to go into the renewable energy industry. We have outreach on that. We can one of the projects that we're considering is donating solar power systems for churches and using our veterans to build that. The materials will all be paid for. It's a total donation to churches in particular, and that's one of the outreach opportunities, and that'll actually hands-on teach guys how to build solar power systems. And that's one avenue of employment opportunity.
Excuse me, but we have other avenues, and one of them is we have Mark, one of my friends from Google, that actually designed the maps that you have in your cars, your navigational systems and everything. Mark actually designed that, and he also designed the three-dimensional walkthroughs on buildings where you can actually open a cabinet door, look in the toilet seat and all this stuff. Now Mark is not part of our pirate crew. He's also a Pirate of the Caribbean, but he's also a CEO for Google. And Google also wants to start mapping trade routes for sailors in the Caribbean. So you're going to be working with Mark. You're going to learn how to do three-dimensional filming. We have our own editing room and sound room on the boat, so you're going to learn how to use sound and editing. We've got another big company, one of the number one in the U.S., that's going to supply us with a whole bunch of cameras and neat stuff. You'll be learning how to fly the drone helicopters. I mean, you guys are going to walk out of this with not just the aspect of being a pirate, but you're going to get public training. You might have NASA call you in a week and say, hey, I like Joe on your show, and I want him to come install windshields for $55 an hour at NASA. You know what I mean? You never know what kind of a job opportunity is going to open the door, like they did off Survivor. That's where I compare it to. Almost everybody that's been on the Survivor show has ended up being successful in some place in their life.
So conceivably, when you're filming this, there could be a live stream that people can come in and say, I'd like to sponsor this person.
Right. So I think once we hit the market that everything's going to really start flying for us. There'll be donations. We're going to start a beef jerky company, which most of those proceeds are going straight to the veterans. We'll keep what we need to pay for the jerky and packaging and delivery and distributorship. But we're talking going on an international level with distributing around the world. We're going to have people buying us in Redbox and everything else, not only off the TV networks, but we're going to be doing a lot of things that's going to help everybody that's a veteran from all wars and all nations.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to help us against our governments. I'm not saying against our governments. I said that wrong, but it's going to bring people together in different nationalities, creed and color, that fought in different wars or in the military in different positions in their lives. That I think it's going to help people publicly that were taught to hate people from another country to actually join in and start liking each other to where we don't have any more wars. I mean, does that sound sensible?
Yeah.
And I think by proving on a national, international level that we can actually help people, because I think we're going to have a pretty good success rate, that the drug administration is going to start dropping out a little bit. The public eye, the people that are sitting at home on Prozac that don't really need it, that just need comfort in their life and the right thing to have happen in their life. I think we're going to start changing our world a little bit on that aspect. And the electronic age has really destroyed people meeting each other, adventure, like our forefathers did for us. And I think that by doing this show, that it's going to show people to get off their butt, go have fun with their kids, take a friend out. The vet that's standing in front of the store, not just saying here's 50 cents, but sitting him on the curb and asking him why he's there, or any homeless person.
So now when they're finished with this program and they come back, basically you're going to reintroduce them to family, to
correct,
back into a working person.
Correct.
Instead of
just part of
Plus,
society.
and especially with the younger guys, and you guys probably had a lot of insight on this. With the younger guys, they're really not aware of all of their benefits for the military.
That's the worst part of it.
And that's one of the things we want to. I'm sure you guys maybe have good insight on that, on what benefits are really available for these guys, because a lot of guys don't really know. And that's the other side of the coin too. On the post-show, we want those guys hooked up with the right people that really know what their benefits are and are able to guide them.
My generation, 30 years,
they don't tell you.
It's all a
realize
secret unless you
that
have somebody
they're not
that's
going
been
to show you
riding
anything. We found out.
Then
Now
you
we
find
can
out.
help
They just keep
the
them in the
ones
dark.
coming out now.
Yeah, it was like a secret.
You know?
It's like a secret.
Everything's a secret.
Don't tell nobody.
Well, here's the
That's
thing
terrible.
too, and you guys have recognized this, I'm sure. I go on the internet because I wrote this show, so I've researched it for 5-7 years now. And to go on and even get a VA loan is a 30-day read on a document to find out how you can get scheduled medical help or anything else. It's like they wrote it so you can't understand it, so you can't use it. So what we want to do is bring that attention to the public eye.
The new book's
I mean, I met veterans walking through Venice Beach myself. I actually went down there to meet veterans because I saw a documentary on almost probably 300 veterans that live on the beach in Venice and in the streets and alleys, right? So I went down there, brought food, walked down the alleyways, and I talked to them. And they had no idea that they could get medical care, mental health. They could get benefits, food, or even food stamps from the government being veterans. They didn't realize that they had free VA housing that they could get involved in, house a vet. A vet should never be homeless. So, and here you're talking Vietnam vets and guys that were in Hawaii when it got bombed, like my father. Okay, so what we want to do is uplift all these guys and let them know that that's there for them and show them how to use it and create lines that are going to just disrupt the whole VA program. And the only big attention that the VA has gotten in the last, 15, 20, 25 years, we'll say, was every year now the veterans assemble at the footsteps of Washington for the wall. This year, over 2 million veterans showed up there, and Obama got scared. The first thing he did was start advertising on TV the changes they were going to make for the vets. But the second they left there, it all stopped on TV. Yeah. We don't want that to happen. We want this to continue to help people.
There was a thing on 60 Minutes last night about, they hired a guy that used to be this the CEO of Procter Gamble, and now he's in charge. They relieved the one guy.
Medical thing.
Yeah, he's in charge of the Veterans Administration now.
Because of the trouble they had in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Well, but the VA, what they do is you go in like in a certain offices I've been, I'm not going to say any name particular, but I went in there for surgery for cancer treatment, and they wanted me to see mental health, and by the time I walked out there, I had a grocery bag of Oxycontin, morphine, oxycodone, and I mean, every pill on the market, I mean, there was probably about $7,000 worth of street drugs in there, you know what I mean? They went in the toilet.
They over-medicate.
And it was like, well, we can see if you want to actually talk to somebody on the second Tuesday of next year, but for now, here's some Ambien, or here's some Trazodone. I get what you're saying, man.
And what happens to a lot of these vets, they give the wrong drugs, and what happens to them is they get those drugs. It's okay if he's talking, but the thing is the wrong drugs put them in a mental state to where they end up committing suicide, and the rate right now is 23 or more a day.
Wow. It's the money thing at that point.
No, because it affects your nerve system and stuff, and once you're on it, you can't get off of it. Gabapentin, man, they give that to you like it's nothing.
Risperdal, and it's advertised all over TV. I had side effects from it. I have to have surgery now.
You're just a slave to it at that point.
Yeah, but if they send a book out, and with the new book, they tell you, man, how if you're 40 miles away, if you can't get them to get the doctor you want, go into Travel, tell Travel you want to have a consult, and they give you a consult now. Now, I'm trying it right now, and I ain't seeing where there's any expedience in it, because they farm me back to the doctors. They tell me the doctor has to do an outside consult, blah, blah, blah. But when I talked to the Oakland boys up here, they told me, go into Travel, tell Travel you want to go have a second opinion, Fresno Cancer Center, Back Center, whatever, and they'll write you a check. But when you get in there, it's a whole different dance.
Yep. Well, here's another issue, too.
Yeah, because they want to run you through a loop.
The clinic here actually has a busing service, but you have to get to the clinic. A lot of these guys have had their license taken away because they're on drugs that the doctors have put them on and have their license restricted, so they have to depend on friends or family, and most of them are disconnected with their friends and their family because of the mental states they're in.
Most of them don't have cars, they got a tent out here in the bush.
They said you didn't show up.
Right.
One of my best friends lived in a little grass hooch out here, and he had a little barbecue pit, and he's 67 years old, still wears black PJs. So you tell me what they do for you.
Yeah. Well, our thing is I hope you guys understand, is what we do is we uplift you, we teach you how to be your own leader. We get you away from what's been bad in your past, hopefully make your future brighter and better. and from that point be able to continue your lives in a happier manner and be your own leader and be self-efficient in your life, you know. And it doesn't matter how old you are. You could be a vet from Hawaii, Vietnam, or wherever, even if you're
through the same experiences.
and be able to uplift you and give you that personality where you feel real comfortable and confident in yourself to move forward. And hopefully overcome any addictions or problems or disaffects that have caused you to be a general public or a part of everyday life, you know.
New starts and reconnections too, like especially with guys like you, like you're talking about your experience there. The younger guys, my son is an Iraq vet.
Yeah, man, I got out of the service and bought a house in the hills, and my mom and everybody'd have their little parties, and I'd never go to them because I didn't fit. You know what I'm saying?
I was the same way.
Yeah, I didn't fit. So because I didn't fit, I kind of wound up being a recluse, and if it wasn't a motorcycle clubman and a couple other little things I did, I'd have never had a group or a friend or a partner in the deal because I really didn't need them. After, you know, I really didn't need them. I didn't need a friend, and I didn't need a social group. I needed to take care of myself.
Their shell.
What we want to do is open the shell. We want to open the shell and get these guys rolling, and we want to get them rolling in their own lives and in everybody else's life. And by, like I said, doing an international level TV show and on different networks around the world, and a lot of them, and hopefully in the United States, like I said, it's going to open people's eyes, and people's eyes haven't been open. And the thing is once you open people's eyes, they start helping. Instead, like I said, instead of walking up to vet handing 50 cents, they'll set them on the curb and ask them what they really need and why are they there. And maybe with enough people watching the TV program, they can tell them that, dude, you know, you can get medical, you can get mental health, you can get a prosthetic, you can get a wheelchair, you can get new crutches. You know what I'm saying? Did you know that you can go get an income, can go do this? These guys have no ideas because what they've done when they come back, because of their mental state, have dislocated themselves from society, and they don't know how to approach anything because they've been a follower and not a leader.
That they had while they were
You know?
in the service.
Yeah,
And all they know what to do is go to get unemployment.
We want to teach them how to get up and tie their own shoes without somebody to do it. Tell them to do it.
You're in the Army for 36 months and somebody feeds you clothes, you're just like prison. And then once you get out on the street, man, you got to take it up on your own.
Exactly, and they're not taught to do that. So what we will want to do is actually help people learn how to be their own leader, lead their lives, and move forward with self-confidence in their lives. Whether their face is blown off, their arms are missing, their legs are missing, or they've got PTSD, a drug addiction, or an alcohol addiction, legal or non-illegal, we want to help them and move forward in their life. Male, female, and international, like I said, any creed and color.
That's great.
And you guys have to remember one thing, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about piracy right now. During the golden age of pirates, every man on a ship, at the time it was only men, were created equal of any color or creed. They were the first ones to create a democracy on a ship with rules and what you could do and couldn't do. Like there was no gambling, no drinking, no this, no that, and that kept fights and murders and deaths and everything else from happening on board. And then they were also the first ones to create an insurance company. So if you did attack a ship and you lost an eye, you got an extra 100 shillings, you know, or doubloon. So basically, pirates only there was less than 5,000 pirates that made history. Okay, 5,000 pirates all total in the world. That group of 5,000 made more history than anybody sitting here that fought their asses off and almost lost their lives or did lose their lives in war. 5,000 men that fought with their democracy to keep their freedom and the laws from becoming what they are today to keep us from being free. You know? And that's all pirates were about. They were the first ones to start real trade too, because everything they did commandeer from ships, they went in and traded for rum and swords and nice clothing, and people don't realize they dress very elegant, by the way.
So how many boats do we get to rob?
I doubt if we'll be commandeering any vessels at sea. We've got experienced people. We don't have to worry about anything, and at all times, Coast Guard or whoever's navies or help ships will always be available also. We've also got some people that want to participate in bringing helicopters down that work for Survivor to help out with some aerial filming, maybe teach you guys how to fly a helicopter, who knows, you know what I mean? There's an open industry right now that we have that could fulfill your lives with all the dreams that you guys have lost, and open your hearts and mind and start a whole new life for you.
Great.
And if there's any questions, you guys hit us up, man. I mean, all of us are pretty experienced here to
How
answer
soon
any
are you
questions.
guys starting this?
Well, we're actually getting off our feet right now and getting ready to go into a major production company to hopefully get this thing off the ground, and also the marketing aspect of it. So we're hoping that we can actually get started somewhere around January.
Well, wow, man. I mean, if you guys won't take me on, I'm ready to rock and roll.
Well, like I said, you'll have to experience a 2-week PTS and psychological study and a physical down in LA. If you're approved for that, then you're more than welcome to be on the show.
You got to be able to stand beyond a boat too, because I mean, you know, if you get seasick easy.
If you get seasick, you're chumming, we'll fish.
We'll see. We'll see, man.
Oh, and here's one big thing.
5x7 area for a year, so I think I can hang in a
Now, here's one big thing I want to let you guys know. When you come on the boat after your 2 weeks, our first mate's going to go through everything you have. Pretty much everything that you're going to bring on the boat is a toothbrush. Maybe underarm deodorant. Everything else will be supplied on the ship. You won't have to bring clothes. You'll be in pirate outfits. Everything in your life's going to be controlled on the boat to make sure no mayhem happens. You know, like I said, I don't want somebody saying I want to go shave and slice their wrists. If you do not choose to participate in the show, you're walking the plank. You'll be off the show and done. You won't be on Facebook, Twitter. You'll have no followings in your life, and you're out of the show. And we'll replace you with somebody that wants to be on that show.
It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a trial. 'Cause
Yeah, we're not a bunch of guys that are going to treat you like a bunch of
actually
girls. We're actually
want
pretty
help.
stern and hard and been there, done that, so you ain't going to make me cry.
You know,
That's not asking for too much. I mean, if anybody wants to be helped, yeah, I get it.
And you know, everybody wants to know. We really want it, especially people that haven't been in the military. They want to know what you guys have been through, but we can't ask you because, you know, it's hard. It's hard to talk about it. We know you guys have a hard time. My son has a hard time talking about it because it just brings back all those memories, and then he has nightmares. He doesn't sleep, and then his PTSD takes over, and and then he starts drinking. And I mean, he's been thrown in jail, etc., for drunken public, etc., and gotten DUIs, and I mean, but we want to know. We want to know what you guys have been through, you know. But
I was lucky I had a good wife that held me back, but later on in life, it came. It doesn't matter, you know, when we first get out or later on.
Later on, the PTSD
Yeah,
set
just
in,
hit it
huh?
real hard, and my friends would go, they didn't recognize me.
Well, let me ask you this. From what you've heard from us, do you think our program could help you?
I don't know if I'm too old for it.
Never too old.
And number two, I got a heart condition that's only working 12 to 15%.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you wouldn't be able to pass the physical to be on the show.
And my, and now the shit started after 50.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. I'll ask you in a different way. From what you've heard from us, do you think that if you would have been 20 years younger, this would have helped you in any
Hell
way?
yes. Because I lived that, you tell yourself what to do, how fast to go, when to stop, to go to work, to take care of your family. You tell yourself these things. You say, okay, go 35 miles an hour. Okay, you stop on the stop sign. You have to recreate yourself again. And you're not the same. Your friends are not the same.
Damn straight.
All the ones that stay behind, you know them, but they're not the same. And pretty soon, you don't even want to, you just want to do your thing and that's it. And you pretend all your life.
That's why this would be productive for you.
Yeah. You
Now,
know what I mean?
I think what the challenge we're giving our vets, we can take the pretend out of their lives and give them their lives
I'm
back.
trying to be honest about the pretend. You have to recreate yourself again in this world. And sooner or later, it'll grab you. It grabbed me more now that I start getting treatment than the last 35 years.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's because when you get around that hospital, you start meeting more guys.
And you start
them
learning
guys,
more.
and you guys start relating, and that either brings it back
it
into
comes
your
out.
life, brings it back into your life, or it helps you get rid of it. But from what I've experienced, when you're sitting there, I go in there. I always tell Julie to look sexy for the boys, and I go in, and my whole job is to watch everybody hold their ribs and laugh. I go in there and I tell jokes and stories, and I make whatever's going on. I sit in that oncology clinic, and them guys are taking treatments, and they know.
So how is this supposed to help somebody with PTSD or with substance abuse in the end?
All the above, basically, that people come out of war and combat with, or just basically coming out of the service with? Is that what you're asking?
In general.
I'm talking like disfigurements, alcohol, prescription drugs, street drugs, PTSD. I mean.
So okay, so you're gonna accept people that got blown up with an IED, with comes back home with a missing arm or leg,
Correct.
and you're gonna accept them, and how working on a ship with a missing arm or leg, how is that gonna benefit?
Well, we're going to help them with their disabilities. I've got crew with disabilities, the same matter, you know what I mean? So the way we look at it is, everybody that's assigned on my crew has been there and done this. They've all went through alcohol, drugs, excuse me, they've all went through PTSD. They overcame it and fought it and won. And that's why we call ourselves modern day pirates of the day. You know, and I was explaining this earlier, I lost my son, I lost my father. I've been there, done that. I've watched my friends die on motorcycles right in front of me. I spent time in the military, in the Army. And my thing is I created a pirate ship about probably 7 or 8 years ago, right? And I just started hitting all the ports around California. Well, I found, and then I ended up with a charter business in Mexico, a booze cruise. And I found that putting a pirate hat on somebody and taking them out on a pirate ship, and with good talking and stories and the activities that go on of the pirate adventures and the lives they led, that it brought out the best of people. And it enhanced their lives. And I mean, I've actually had people on the boat for a couple hours that get off the boat and go, you don't even know what you just did to me on this trip. You know what I mean? Or meeting us in the harbors and just talking to us. So what I've done is I've assembled a crew of everybody that's been there and done that. A lot of military guys, a lot of ex-drug addicts, heroin addicts that have overcome all this stuff, right? And PTSD. So what we do is we take you out on an adventure, uninhabited, drug-free, alcohol-free, no phone contact, no computer contact. You guys have got no way to be sitting in like a counseling room and walk out and go get drugs or alcohol. So you're in my program, our program, I should say, to overcome all this. And as a person in the military, you guys have all been there, I've been there, and that's one of the reasons why I wasn't real good in there. I'm not good at taking people telling me what to do every day. I'm my self person, but a lot of guys that go in the military, that's all they know is what they're told. You get up in the morning, tie your shoes, you go to lunch, you go to dinner, you do this, you do that, right? So you guys, I'm not saying you in particular, but a lot of guys don't know how to lead their lives because they were a team, they know team, and they know how to take orders. You guys got to get up on your own and tie your shoes and give the orders of the day to yourself to be able to command your lives. And that's a lot of problems people are having. People lose communication with their family and friends. When they come back from the war, they hide from them. I want to restore that by building your self-esteem and having my crew members that will be working with you build that self-esteem in you to lead your life.
Can I ask why you use the word pirate so much?
Because pirates had their own democracy. Every man and woman, say, aboard was treated equal, even during the height of the slave trade. They also formed insurance, so everybody had insurance on board. And the thing is pirates were freedom, fun. And I mean, they've got a bad reputation for commandeering vessels and being the mean guys, but all they were doing was fighting for their own freedom, so the democracies that we have today and the Republican governments and all this crap and all the laws that we've taken on and became slaves to the United States, basically. And what we do is we play follow the leader. Our mom bought a house, so we buy a house. It's not any adventure anymore, and the technology and the computer age has taken us over where people don't even go and intermingle anymore. You can meet somebody on Facebook, they can type and blow you up talking like crazy, but you meet them in person, they can't open their mouths. You know what I mean? So my thing is to show the general public what veterans are about. The guy that you're handing 50 cents to at the 7-Eleven, get them off the streets, get them internationally seen, and that way people around the world will start adjusting to what's going on. Vets are the hardest people in the world to hire on a job right now because they're afraid they've got PTSD. All they don't say about the stuff that helps them and what they're good at. They always put them down, so that makes it hard to get a job. So what we want to do is create that to the international public eye, So people will stop going up there and giving you 50 cents, set you on a curb and say, what do you need? What, I mean, do you know that you have this benefit? I mean, there's a lot of people that know a lot of things. Older vets can treat younger vets. That Nam was hell, you know what I mean? These guys went through hell in Kuwait, Iraq, it's bad over there too. So my thing is to get you guys out of that structure of team and being leader by a leader, and learn how to be yourself. Build your self-esteem with your teammates on the boat. Mingle with people from other countries in different aspects of war, and start liking each other and move forward in life.
Okay.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, I mean, do you have any questions?
Well, basically, you will have some of the older Vietnam veterans or older veterans that could be there that maybe can't pull their weight as far as physically doing things.
Right.
But emotionally helping the younger guys, a lot of them will be.
A lot of them can actually come on the boat
more of a benefit
as well.
than a counselor at VA.
Well, actually, like say your husband, he knows what this is about. He's fought this for years, and now, like you told me, it's came back. And most of it was brought back from the counseling he's going through right now, which has an 86% loss rate.
Oh,
okay?
I believe that. I know that. I know it.
No, I enjoy this first time here. Is because of the fact that even though we're old and it's been a long time ago, we still got a voice to speak.
Correct.
I was with my friend here across from me, our age must Jeff.
Yes, sir.
And I was with him for 5 minutes. We were brothers already. We could speak a certain way and we know exactly what we're talking about. Besides speaking to someone that wasn't there, it doesn't matter if it was 30, 35, 40 years ago or 30 months ago.
Right.
We're still connected.
Right. And here's the point that I want to make with that. What we call it is a consoler. Somebody that's been in the war, Vietnam, that maybe not be able to participate in the real stuff on the vessel, but you're still going to learn a lot and enjoy a lot. But you're also going to be that consoler that can help these guys, direct them. You know all about VA benefits. You know this, you know that. We're going to have other people on board that are trained in this. So you'll be able to give that knowledge to these younger guys that have no idea that are sleeping on our city streets right now. You know?
Right. They already know the programs that they've already gone through to help them go through it faster.
Right, and I'm sure their wives and family members like you have helped your husband all along. You're their best help. You know, and these guys aren't going back to their wives. They're not going back to their children. They're not going back to their families. They're hiding on the streets because they just don't want to be a participant in that because they lost their team.
It's like they don't want to be a burden to their family.
Exactly, because of the problems they're having in their lives. Well, what we want to do is change that. And I'm sure that the program we've developed, I'm hoping, and out of all the people involved in this, also think that it's going to be a good aspect. I mean, when do you even get a chance to throw a pirate hat on and go out and learn to navigate, fish, dive for food, search for water on islands, and get to travel and learn how to sail and read the stars and jump behind the helm and, you know, participate as a pirate at sea, you know? I mean, just that adventure alone for the participants and the home viewer will start getting people off the couch.
Yeah.
And in our program, instead of just sitting in a room with 10 other veterans and going, oh, you know, I watched Joe die, I did this, I came out on acid, I don't, you know, and then you walk out there, you go right back to getting a line of cocaine, you hit acid, eat your mushroom, smoke your dope, drink your drink, and that's your life, right? Well, we're going to give that adventure to you to where it pulls it out of your, the devil's gauntlet in biblical term means running the soul out of the devil's, you know, taking the devil out of one soul and running it through God's gauntlet to purify the soul. Wow. So what we want to do is we're going to be hard on you. We're not a bunch of wimps. We're pirates. We're going to take you out there and we're going to send you through a program that hopefully at the end, when you go back for your physical and your two-week inspection to see how you came out of that program, hopefully we've changed your life. And hopefully you'll continue to be a pirate the rest of your life and self-supporting and a leader of your own life and have confidence to do it.
So like the guys that go in this and they wash out, do you find them counseling or do you help them out with some type of job program? How do you make their life better? Let's say that they get involved in this, they pass the physicals, they get out there with you. you know, and they go through and then they fail at it, or they feel they fail at it. You know, I mean, I understand you'll have mentors there to help and guide them, but is there also like an adjustment period where you can roll them into programs, help them out? Because we all know the table don't work. Right. Where you're sitting in a room with 10 of these guys, right. If you had it in your subby and you had it hidden, you got it dealt with, they opened a can of worms, and before you know it, you're in worse fucking shape than you were before. Right. And now what you've been able to hide and subdue, you can't drag it out. So, you know, when you get into this, you gotta have a guarantee somewhere.
We do have that, and here's what we're gonna do. We have Kaya Redford, which is the top PTS clinic in Los Angeles. It's a one-on-one program. This isn't a group program. So if you do fail on the show, we're gonna recommend, because we can't force anybody to do anything. But we're hoping that the sponsorship funding that comes in on this, with people backing veterans, will pay for that. So those people that did fail or think they failed can stay in the program and help them hopefully down the road. We're gonna follow all these guys on Twitter, blogs, Facebook, everything. After they come out of the show where they fail, walk the plank, and they're off the deal, they break the round robin and the trust of the rest of the teammates and crew on the boat, they're still gonna be a participant in the program, and hopefully later down the road we can bring that same person back in with a change and put them through the program again. So we're not just eliminating or alienating anybody out of this.
Yeah, because that would be harder on the vet.
Exactly.
If you brag them in, telling them we're going to make you whole, and then you leave them on a half, you know?
Right.
You don't know, half shells, you know? You want to make a whole shell.
Right.
And give them a start. It was hard. Me and him it was tough when we come out. We had to correct our own problems. And when you did marry up with somebody, you know, your own family didn't have the same feeling as one of your old comrades. You know, I had a comrade for 27 years that I air-vacked out of Vietnam and run into him. He was driving a van gas to deliver my propane, and we buds right up to the day he died. Yep. And it's like, when he died, it was like I lost one of my best ace deuces. So, you know, that's the part.
I think that's a hard part for a lot of family members too, that they don't relate to, is you come home and
you ain't the
they're
same
trying
Johnny.
to, you're not the same guy, but they're trying to deal with what you went through, and they're like, why are you so close to your battles? Why are you so worried about, you're home with your family, you should be better? No, man, because those were the guys you were going to die with. You had to make a whole brand new family.
Yeah.
And they relate to your scars because they've got them too, but your brother doesn't because he wasn't there. But it's even harder on you.
He got a different scar because you weren't there. Right?
Yeah, you see their compassion, and that makes it even worse, because it's like they're trying to help me, but they just don't know how.
Well, let me ask you this, Julie, right? I mean, obviously you're with Tiny, and I'm going to ask you the same question. Have you helped your husband overcome some of the things, since you've been with him for this long period of time, on some of the things he's going through in his life? I mean, what's it been like for you?
You know, everybody is different, and I think compassion is probably number one. The love and compassion that you have for your husband.
And tell him about how you have to deal with the freakouts and nightmares and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, share some of that stuff.
You know, where do you begin? It's hard. Nobody realizes, you know, what they're going through.
Yeah, I shake out of bed.
He does.
I shake out of bed, ask her.
Yeah.
And in the morning she tells me about it, and I said, nah. What the hell, I'm getting older now, that should stay behind. What it is, I'm letting it come out. And
it's not dealt with the old way yet. That's why.
And all my life, the reason I was straight, raised my kids and paid my bills, I worked by myself in a ranch. And she took good care of all my paperwork and everything else. Hey, it's time to take your medicine, it's time to go to the VA hospital. And she's the one that did all that. And whatever I had coming to me, she fought it. She got on that computer, wrote letters, and she can help a lot of people, because we help about 5 people get 100%.
Well, all you veterans deserve benefits. There should be no reason you should have to fight for them. Yeah.
Once I
You've
figured
already
out,
fought for them. You fought already for it.
once I figured out how to get mine, I made a little cause that I would go out and run. Asked you 3 questions. Did you have a 30-day leave? Will you ever get a red tag in a combat zone? All that, and then I would point the guys and help them get their benefits. I got a whole bunch of them boys that get the 100%. You know, some of them get 70, but the object of the game,
with a 30%
the game is to get them involved in it and help them get help. And it's funny, the wives seem to do, they do the best chase when it comes to getting you the treatment and the stuff that they look at you and you're just another old Band-Aid crying. And then when your wife goes in there, all of a sudden there's a power monger, and they realize that the power is really in here, and we can't just bullshit this one because she has nothing to do with this, and she's there on her accord for that man. And it seems like you women get a lot more done than we can accomplish. A lot of time. Sometimes it takes us 7 years, and it takes you 15 minutes.
And that's the same way we're. That was a good compliment on your wives, but here's the problem we're having. Most of these young guys coming back from Iraq, Kuwait, don't have that option. They don't have the girlfriend, the wife, to go type up their stuff, to feed their information to them, to get out there to the world and let them know what's going on.
Such a mess when
They end up on the streets, homeless, with no idea of their benefits, and that's why the consolers on the boat can help these guys get off the streets. No home should be, no vet should be homeless. I mean, that's just a law of the land now, they say. So my thing is by what we do on the ship to help represent that, explain all this to them, and the consolers on the boat and other people who have been through this, not only is the guy on the boat going to get help, but the general viewers are going to get help. The viewer's going to go help.
He gets access.
Right.
You know, and it's going to change the world. Because even veterans from Russia, Germany, Korea, they all are allowed benefits, and they don't even know in their own country.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's, they always have that benefit program, and then you have to sit there and figure it out for yourself. Like this young lad right here.
It took me a year and a half to
he needs a real mentor. He needs somebody to go out there and hold his hand and walk him through there, because he's not going to find a woman until he gets his program together a little bit. And when he does, then he'll have an ally. The ally will be his support, and then he'll start to grow.
And you're going to see us work.
And I see with your program where you might leapfrog that, because once you get them back into the camaraderie of their friends, then and the understanding, and they learn how to step out on themselves, then you got a winning hand. I see there's a winning hand there. It's just a technique getting it. And I believe this young man here would be a great candidate. I feel I'm a little too old. I have physical aspects that slow me down.
They test you. They make you jump loops.
Yeah.
But once you do it,
But I
it takes a while. You will get it.
People like us can point him into tables and directions, and he'll get his help.
Because you've been
What
there.
I see you guys doing is feeding the need of camaraderie and support, and teaching them that there's just nothing, there's more there in the world other than just dropping the ball.
Or having somebody tell you what you have to do every day.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of
their own leaders. That's my biggest aspect in this whole thing is, once you give somebody self-esteem and confidence, and show them that they're own leader, that's when they start taking charge of their own
You
lives.
got a new Bill Gates.
No.
Straight up, man. Once you give them a little confidence and ability
Exactly.
and a chance, man, you get Bill Gates.
It's amazing.
It's amazing what a person can do when they have self-confidence.
Self-confident, good support behind them,
That's exactly right.
and pretty soon they get their pride back and respect.
And
It's-
one aspect is
that's the main thing.
One
Once
thing
you
that we're
get
doing
that
too
in your
is
heart,
you're good to go.
we're gonna be a team on board. I mean, any ship that you're on, you're a team. But what we want to do is break them out of that team aspect, even when we're on board. It's going to be a one-on-one with a crew member. I mean, we're not going to be a team all the time. There's going to be one-on-one and or self-driven, and that gives them more pride in what they're doing. Right. I mean, I'll give somebody a goal for the day, and if they accomplish it on their own, then they're going to learn how to dislocate themselves from team and become their own leader. And that's the whole idea of our journey,
is
Self-sufficient.
yeah, if you're in a dive team in the Navy, you go down with 13 guys, 5 guys, 4 guys. But if I go, hey, you
Usually
two
it's
suit up and
2
get in the water and
guys.
start looking for oysters, that's what you're going to do. And that's a confidence builder because they're doing it on their own, you know? Or sending a guy on the land with a rubber bag and tell him come back with 5 gallons of water. You know what I mean? Or fruit or vegetables, whatever. You got to start helping that one person be their own team leader and have the self-confidence to drive themselves.
Give them a challenge.
Give them the challenge.
And let them meet it.
That's right. And be rewarded
Can I
for
sign
it.
up right now?
Yeah.
I want to go float a boat. Take a 2-week vacation. Do we go by Hawaii?
No, we're going to be in the Caribbean.
Can I ask how many, for lack of a better term, mentors to veterans?
We have 30 crew on board, 15 consolers, and there'll be 6 actual drug counselors on the boat, a real doctor, a PTS doctor, 1, and the rest is consolers, which are crew members, which are going to teach you how to do everything on the boat. There's going to be 6 veterans in that challenge. It could be 1 from Germany, 1 from Russia, 1 from the U.S., 1 from Korea, 1 from England, wherever. Men, women, any color, race, creed, whatever, religion, whatever. And we're going to turn that 6 people into self-confident, self-reliant, number 1 person, not team. We're going to teach everybody to be their own leader and have their own confidence and self-esteem and how to lead their lives and move forward with them. And by having this on TV and people airing it and be able to support that person on TV, on a blog, on their cell phones with the internet access, which would be Facebook, Twitter, all this stuff, they'll be able to pick somebody they like on TV and gung-ho them, you know what I mean? And we're going to have a satellite on the boat to where those people can also go live on the boat for a few seconds a day and see live action on the boat, and they're following their favorite Joe or whoever, right? And they can give him points for them, they can, you know, and we're going to set it up to where maybe once a week during the trip we put that person in a room with their people that are, you know, rooting them on and be able to get live action. So it builds their confidence and their self-esteem. Also, you got to remember, it's going to change a viewer's mind on that guy standing in front of the 7-Eleven or laying in the gutter, starving to death.
Exactly.
And it's
How
going
they're
to
be treating others.
It is. It's going to change a lot of things. And another thing, that big aspect of it is you're going to be seen live on TV, just like the people on Survivor. Every one of them, like I said, came out of Survivor and ended up with a, you know, hey, you want to work for me, you want to do modeling, you want to sing, you want to, you know, it opens the doors for you guys to have a job structure where you can't get it in the United States now because they advertise PTSD on every soldier who walks out of the war.
Yeah, you're already screwed.
Yeah, you're already done before you even get back. Very few are constructed back into their old jobs. They were there for 25 years. They go back and they go, hey, you're going to put me back to work now? I'm back in the military. Well, you know, Joe, we replaced you with Harry. There it is, done.
Cirilla went
That
right
sounds
back
like
to
the old
work.
Vietnam days. They said, you can go back to your job, and then when you got back, nobody wanted you to hit that job.
Nope.
Cirilla worked for a
And that was always a robbery there.
for years.
Yeah,
Before
milking
Vietnam.
cows.
Right.
So, yeah,
He
and
did.
then I was a rancher, yeah, all my life since I was 11.
When he got back
And
out
when
of
I got
Vietnam, they
back-
hired him back, rehired him.
I wanted my
But he
job
couldn't
back,
last
my
him in
life.
years. And he worked for him for probably total 16 years.
Yeah.
And then, but he never did fit in back with it again.
Right.
They just didn't understand. When he left, all these kids that were now older teenagers
Right.
when he got back, they you know,
punks.
They were all, yeah, they were doing their own thing. They were into drugs. His temperament was so bad, still is. I mean, it's like turning on a switch, you know, just that PTSD. But we didn't understand what it was. And so he couldn't work there too long. He knew all those people from when he was young. He couldn't go back to it. He ended up having to be retrained.
Oh no, I wasn't a talker. If you just did something stupid, I just start socking you out and knock you down and beat the hell out of you, you know? So I know what all that's about.
The thing is, you don't have to even be doing something stupid. You could be doing something with a good heart, honestly, wanting
I'd
to
still
do
beat
something
you up.
for him. And he
Yep.
would still, I'm doing something I thought was good, but his way of thinking when he got home was that, you know, that wasn't good enough, or you shouldn't be doing it, that's wasteful. So it would be an explosion just for me walking in the room and saying, look what I did today, you know, being all excited about something. And the wind would go right on my sails because, you know, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I know. I understand it 100% because, like I said, I've been that way since I was 12, and the last thing I put up was stupid or somebody won't help themselves, and that's the one that really hurt me the worst, and that's usually the ones I pop in the side of the head. But the thing is I've taught myself not to do that now, you know, and I've taught that those people can get help. You know, I've learned that.
Yeah, those scars will always be there. You will always remember those.
But there's a way to help those scars.
But it's better. You know, and as he gets older, sometimes those flare-ups are really bad again. But I've been with him for 47 years. I was there before Vietnam. So I'm not going to give up now. Huh.
Yeah, hey, security.
That's good.
When I kick.
And when they tell him he can't have something or they won't do something
Oh,
for
that's
him,
when you go for it the hardest.
that's when I freak out. That's when I freak out.
She gets on that
talking about.
Yeah.
It's
You're
like
not going
you-
to treat my husband that way.
Yeah, it's amazing. You can sit
Yeah,
there
her
and tell them and
brother, her
beg and
cousin,
plead
and me,
and give a reason
they
why,
bullshit.
and they'll tell you, get the hell out of my face. And then 5 minutes later, your woman's in their ward, and they're like, come back in here. We got that for you. You need this, you need that. We got it covered. Get over here.
Like she know how to speak better. You
I think
need the
they-
right words.
I think
you
they-
miss one word when you go in.
Yeah. They squeak
either
real
call you,
good.
It's not that. It's that he doesn't love himself or honor himself as much as I do.
Oh, I love
Well,
that.
and I don't think
Okay.
that's the whole aspect behind it either. I'll tell you what
No,
it
it
is
is.
too. You lost your self-confidence with the service, and
he
she
doesn't.
didn't. She didn't.
He
And she's going to back you 100% and fight for everything that you deserve where you
know,
can't
I'm
do
fighting
that.
for him and all the other veterans that didn't come home.
Exactly.
I'm not fighting just for him. I'm
Right.
fighting my brother, my cousin, all you know.
Right.
I'm fighting for all of you. And
Yep.
and if I see a veteran
As
that
she
needs help,
speaks,
when we go to the
she has a
hospital.
emotion on her
Yep.
I mean,
It's coming from the
I don't
heart.
feel any. I don't care. I'll go up and talk to them, just like I started talking to Jeff. And to me, I feel a connection with him because I know he's suffering.
Right.
You know, and he doesn't have to.
Nope.
There's so many
Up, man.
programs. Yes.
He's got scotch tape all over him, but you can't see it.
It's very
5200
emotional
really.
too. I can tell.
Hey,
you know.
anyways, you guys, we gotta get out of here. So I want to tell you, it's a pleasure meeting all of you, and we're gonna wrap it up. And thanks for the input. It was very helpful, you know. And hope to see you guys soon.
I used to say that too.
Okay. Wrap. It's a wrap.
2019.
No, look at the camera.
At my husband and I see him as still that handsome 19-year-old soldier that went to Vietnam. Before he left, he was always smiling and happy, and I'm starting to see that smile come back now. He's still my handsome husband. Huh.
Thank you, sir. And for all the work you did.
It's for us.
Hey,
It's for the other veterans.
for everybody. We've got to work together. By ourselves,
No.
we got to work together, and that's how we get things done.
We had our first anniversary while he was in Vietnam, and he took his R&R, and we met in Hawaii. And let me tell you, that was the worst plane ride ever to come back without him. Because already, like I said, my brother was already killed in Vietnam, and my cousin was already killed. So leaving him behind after seeing him for 5 days was really miserable, real miserable. But God brought him back to me.
Came back a little late, but I came back.
A little scarred.
Thank you.
Okay. Unbelievable.
Especially
You
you.
dried up yet?
Especially you.
Hmm?
It's a mental thing, Jeff.
You can use my sleeve.
I
Here,
was
come
like
on up
that.
here, you get this one. Come on, baby. That's a good girl. So what do you think? You want to go do this program? Huh? Go sail around in the boat? Get to meet new people and see the world?
I think it would be really, really good.
All right, we'll go till Donnie.
Yeah.
We'll go sign up.
You know, ever since we have been together, we haven't spent a night away. And so it's hard when, you know, I worry about you.
All the time, huh? Yeah. It's a good thing to do. I worry about me too, and then I worry about you. I know if I got it together and I come home to you. See? That's how it works. Anyway, give me a kiss, honey. That's a good girl. You didn't tell him about any of my bad nightmares.